name's Matt Gaetz. I'm a Florida man, Florida Congressman, and I am Nancy Pelosi's worst nightmare in the United States House of Representatives. Now, I have bad news. The last time I gave a speech, I got banned from the state where I gave the speech. The governor told me I was no longer welcome. But the good news is it was only New Jersey. Banned from Jersey for giving a political speech. I guess if I brought a cinder block and threw it through the glass storefront of a Nike store and walked out with some Air Jordans, it would be a peaceful protest. Maybe if I lit a Wendy's on fire, I would be exercising my First Amendment rights. Well, we're in my state now. This is Trump, DeSantis, Gaetz country, and it will never be illegal to have a good time in the state of Florida. So I have a message for the governors of California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois. Lockdowns make you look weak, not strong. Closing down restaurants makes you look foolish, not compassionate. Canceling Christmas makes you a Grinch, not a leader. And so they could go and issue their emergency orders and their bitchy little edicts, but we will never give them the power to shut down the American spirit and the American way of life. That's because every American is special, and we will not accept the labeling of tens of millions of Americans as deplorable or cancelable or non-essential. Every job in America is essential to the family that relies on it and the communities that are stronger as a consequence. As Americans, we have difficult challenges ahead. And President Trump has taught us how to deal with them, straight on, never giving in on matters of principle. Donald Trump won a landslide election among people who actually showed up and voted. Think about that. And you know what? The farther you got away from the validation of the voter and their identity, the more Joe Biden's margins went up. I mean, with the people whose votes weren't validated, who came in by the mail, Joe Biden was getting vote totals that would have made Bashar al-Assad blush. Now, in 2016, they couldn't beat Trump with actual voters at the ballot box. So they tried with impeachment at the witness box. And when that failed, they ran to the mailbox, where they could process hundreds of thousands of votes, oftentimes in the dark of night, without signature matches, excluding the observers, sometimes where people voted in different states, sometimes when they lived in different states, sometimes when they weren't even alive at all. And so on January 6th, I'm joining with the fighters in the Congress, and we are going to object to electors from states that didn't run clean elections. Now, Alabama is sending us a new senator, Coach Tommy Tuberville. You know, he still talks like a coach, and I had a chance to speak with Coach Tuberville just moments ago, and he says, we are done running plays from the establishment's losing playbook. It is time to stand and fight. Now, Coach Tuberville went for it a lot on fourth down when he was coaching at Auburn. They called him the Mississippi Riverboat Gambler. Well, the odds may be tough. It may be fourth and long, but we're going for it on January 6th. Now, the media, our friends in the media will breathlessly exclaim that we are attacking democracy. That's nonsense. Democracy is left undefended if we accept the result of a stolen election without fighting with every bit of vigor we can muster. deserve leaders bold enough to take action and a media honest enough to report the facts objectively. But instead, we get the perverse opposite. Our politicians are too often weak husks of humans. They scurry around Capitol Hill just doing favors for lobbyists and special interests. Oftentimes, they only look busy because they accept busy work from our milquetoast so-called leadership. We should not be renaming post offices while America is burning and in need of bold action and true leadership. Meanwhile, the media and their woke-topian allies in Silicon Valley only grow stronger in their ability to super spread lies and bullshit. Our constitutional system reposes power in the people, and the media resents the hell out of it. They no longer want to program the news. They want to program you, controlling what you see and what you hear so that they can manage how you behave. Well, I guess in their eyes, we're all behaving a little badly, but maybe more bad behavior is what we need to advance the America First agenda. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not going back to yesterday's Republican Party. I'm not going back to losing politely with Mitt Romney. I'm not going back to the Bushes or the Cheneys. This is Donald Trump's party, and I am a Donald Trump Republican. If you want to get the job done, if you want to drain the swamp, hire a Florida man. We've drained swamps in the state of Florida, and we know how to get the job done. Just like the alligators out in the Everglades, the DC swamp creatures have spent seemingly millennia adapting to their surroundings, and they can be very dangerous if not properly handled. Now we know that the swamp isn't truly drained until we've nailed the hides of the alligators to the wall. And sadly, it appears the people who perpetrated the Russia hoax against our president won't face justice, and neither will the Biden crime family, because nobody over at the Department of Justice thinks the way to move their career forward is to indict Hunter Biden or the people in the Obama-Biden administration who advance these lies and politicize the intelligence community. And so I figure in the next term of Donald Trump, whether that's in 2021 or 2025, maybe he ought to pick me to be the Attorney General. And if for whatever reason he doesn't run, maybe I ought to pick the Attorney General. I'd go easy on marijuana, tough on big tech, and I would go after the deep state. Wouldn't that be a nice reversal? You see, our America First movement is only dangerous to those who would sell out our country to foreign interests abroad or special interests here at home. America First means our people first. It doesn't mean other countries first. It doesn't mean multinational corporations first. And it certainly does not mean lobbyists first. I stand before you, the only Republican in the United States Congress who will not accept a single dollar in political action committee donations. Their money is no good with me. Our founding fathers did not pledge their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to watch our generation of leaders go and prostitute ourselves to the highest America last bidder. Is there a single member of Congress who could take hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars from these lobbyists and PACs and special interests and honestly tell you that there are not strings attached? Is there a single American who would even believe that? America is precious. It is one of a kind. You don't sell a genuine original, and our government should not be for sale to the lobby corps. You see, elites in both parties, by the way, elites in both parties, they take too low of a view of what it is to be an American. They see the American people as an indistinguishable pool of producers and consumers, just interchangeable parts. Why pay an American for a job that a Chinese Uyghur chained to a sewing machine can do? It's why the elites craft trade deals that hollow out the towns and villages in our country for the sake of the sugar high of short-term greed. And if you don't believe America is precious, unique in all of human history, then you can be seduced into thinking that it can be replicated anywhere, but it cannot. Bush, Obama, Cheney, Hillary, Cheney again. They all believe that you can build American-style democracies out of sand and blood and Arab militias in the Middle East. You see, the neocons in both parties have convinced themselves that just beyond the tenure of every despot dictator in the Middle East lies an American democracy, just waiting to inspire Lee Greenwood to write, "God bless wherever-istan." We inspire the world the most when we are the best, most inspiring versions of ourselves, not some expeditionary force trading villages back and forth in a long, bloody draw with the Taliban over 20 years. You know, Moses wandered the desert for 40 years. If we put Joe Biden or Nikki Haley or Liz Cheney in charge, they would easily beat that record. It would only cost us trillions of dollars and the blood of our bravest patriots. Now, of course, the world will always have bullies. But Donald Trump knows how you deal with a bully. You punch him in the nose and you give him a reason before they mess with you again. That's what he did when he took out Soleimani and al-Baghdadi and the leader of al-Qaeda on the Arabian Peninsula. But what you don't do is move into the house of the bully for 20 years trying to somehow realign their worldview. America is not an ideology to export at the tip of the sword to a series of failed states. America is our home, and we must protect our home, and we must keep it clean and wonderful and splendid. You see, Democrats protect their homes with walls, but they don't feel like the rest of the nation deserves that same protection. Well, Donald Trump has built 400 miles of wall on our southern border. And I believe that a new generation of America First leaders must build walls around some of our concepts too, and birthright citizenship is one such concept. Right now on the southern border, third world narcos are getting their baby mamas across the border so that the next generation of cartel talent has the full trappings of U.S. citizenship. Right now in Los Angeles, birthing suites are selling off your birthright to rich members of the Chinese Communist Party who can come here, have Han Chinese that they believe will be just as American as you or I. But we know better. And we know that if we truly value citizenship, if we truly love America, then we must end birthright citizenship by fraud in the United States. We will do this because America is the greatest country that has ever existed in all of human history. Don't you ever let some spoiled celebrity or athlete or socialist politician ever tell you otherwise. Don't let them ever claim that we have to be sorry for American greatness. Now, signs suggest that we have challenging days ahead, but the light of true patriotism can shine even in the darkest of moments. General George Washington wrote to the Constitutional Congress in the darkest, coldest days of Valley Forge. He said, "We're out of food, so now we must think." And then Washington got together his ragtag band of patriots. They crossed that icy Delaware River, and they slaughtered the German Hessians who have no country. You see, America, she may need us now more than ever, and we better fight like hell for her with all we have. For there is no place to run. There is no place to run. There is no distant land to convert to our purposes should we fail. Our day will come to fight and cross the river like Washington had to. I hope you're ready, and I hope you'll cross that river with me. God bless you. God bless our country. God bless the United States of America. Let's go get them.